Well, I'm here now. And today we have a lot of things to talk about. And that's actually a lie. Actually, there's not a lot to talk about because this is a wrap up and I'm not going to be spoiling anything. No spoils here. But if you like that kind of thing, like if you want a bust down, breakdown of the books that I'm talking about here, because trust, I have a lot to say, you're going to check out my debrief. That's where I break it all down. And I'm so excited to talk about the books, or at least two of the books that are on this list, because I love them down. And I think that we should just get right into the video right now. Hey, I'm Angel, and this is my wrap up. It's been 2 months. 3 months? 3-month wrap up, okay? We're in the middle of April, and this video was supposed to come out a little bit before, but I was reading a different book, and I wanted that book to be in the wrap up because I like this book. I have mixed feelings about this book, actually, but I wanted it to be in the wrap up, but I couldn't bring myself to finish it just yet. I'm still actively working on it, and we're gonna have a conversation about it when I make a video about it. I have many things to say, but for right now, we're gonna start with what I do know. First book we're talking about today is Odd Spirits. I forgot the author's name, but I'll have it up on the screen. This book is about Reese and Moira, who are married. They've been married for like a year now, I do believe. And they are having a couple issues. You would think they'd be happily married, but you know, issues arise when some people are avoidant and, you know, don't really say everything that's on their mind. So they have a little couple things. The plot is that while they're in marital semi-bliss, they are being harassed by a spirit, a malevolent spirit that's slamming doors and stealing necklaces, changing out pictures and frames, and making it really, really freaking cold, okay? And you would think that Reese and Moira would have it under control, considering the fact that Reese is a sorcerer, okay, who is an important member of his occult society, his occult society. And Moira is a witch who does almost everything under the sun, okay? From like tarot reading to kitchen spells to palm reading to charts reading, celestial charts. She does a lot of freaking stuff. But they can't figure it out. They don't know what to do. So what else? What can they do? They can call up somebody from Reese's occult group, somebody who's more skilled, somebody who can get the job done. And who do you think that's gonna be? I'll tell you, it's Reese's ex-boyfriend. Oh, the drama! Reese's ex-boyfriend, David, who is a bit of a spoiled diva, okay? He is a bit of an arrogant arse who, you know, sometimes acts in bad faith, some would say. Some would say he's just an asshole. However, David comes over and he attempts to help them with their spirit problem. And it's tenuous, and it is the perfect prelude to the next book, because this book is a prequel to Evocation, the next book I'm talking about. But we're gonna back up. I gave this book 5 stars when I initially rated it. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it again, I have no qualms with it. And I had a good time reading the book. And so she's keeping her 5 stars. And that's all I really need to say about Odd Spirits, other than you should definitely read it before you read Evocation. It's no spoils, of course not. It just lets you get into it. You know, it's dully mentioned in the next book, but it's a good time, so you should read it. Next, we're talking about Evocation, and since, you know, we're kind of in between, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the characters. We're gonna start with Reese. Reese is a thorough fellow, okay? He is good at what he does. He works really hard to be in the place where he is. He loves to research. He does a lot of reading. He's very ambitious. Very, very ambitious. He wants to be the best to ever do it in his field. He can be a bit self-neglectful, you know? Like, he's so into the work, flip pages, that he forgets to eat. But, you know, good thing he has his loving wife who, you know, helps. But she also gets upset with him when he's being not neglectful to not only himself, but to her in extension. And, you know, I feel like they have a good balance in keeping each other in check, which is such Eat, Pray, Love. So good. I love it. It's healthy and it's real. And I love the way that the characters are written in this book. And lovely segue to talk about Moira, who is our witchy gal, who is very community oriented. She is loving, caring, and kind, but she is unforgiving, okay? She is everything that we love about the South. Generous and kind and friendly. But, you know, she doesn't take any crap. She doesn't. And I love that for her. I love that from her. I love that about her. Live, laugh, love Moira, in my opinion. And Reese loves his wife, which shouldn't be a flex, but, you know, not everybody can say the same. So it feels worth mentioning because they're so cute together. Next, we're talking about David. David is Reese's ex-boyfriend. David is a Nepo baby. His daddy was like the best to ever do it in the occult circles as well, and raised him to be the best to ever do it. He grew up with a spotlight on him because he was a special child. He was somebody who had very advanced abilities, and so, bow, you're in the spotlight. And so naturally, he's grown to be an attention whore who is a little self-obsessed. But he's also a workaholic. He's a lawyer by day and an occultist psychic by night. Even though he never stops being psychic. Did I tell you that he's psychic? He can see ghosts and stuff. Yeah, it's important. That's why they call him for the ghost problem. Anyways, I think that's all you need to know about the characters before we get into the book. Evocation follows these three as they are trying to solve David's problem. What's David's problem? He finds out that his daddy and his great-granddaddy and his granddaddy's granddaddy made a deal with the demon. That's like, okay, I will give you this knack for the occult and some knowledge in return for the first son of the aristocrat name. For your first son. At like the age of 45. Or something. Like after they turn 45 or something. I can't remember fully. It's been a while since I read the book. But there are caveats on it. And so David starts realizing, oh crap, this guy wants my soul. And he's like, okay, well, I don't want to die. And so he has nowhere else to turn. He had nowhere else to turn. And so he calls Reese. And him and Reese are not cool, okay? They work at the same occult society, because of course they do. And they're cordial at best occasionally. They're usually pretty like just not cool in general. And so it was a bit of a, you know, toss-up, but he offers them things that they could not refuse because Moira needed his help too. Or Moira needed his help and he needed Moira's help. Because apparently he just been walking around unprotected spiritually. And she's like, oh, that's crazy. You can't do that. You can't just be walking around psychically connecting with people's family, talking to the dead, stepping into ritual circles. and not be protected. He was like, so anyways, that's the premise. They all work together. He teaching her something, Reese is doing the research, and they get to know each other, and well, they get to re-know each other. It's a story about forgiveness. It's a story about loving people who've hurt you. It's a story about, I really enjoy David's character despite his general assness. He gave me a lot of giggles that I otherwise would not have had he not been there. And the character development that he experiences through the book, delicious. Okay, he softens in a way that is not unrealistic and doesn't completely wash away his character, and that is always to be appreciated. And I love that we learn so much about him. I love how much we learn about him and his life and his family. And quick shout out to his relationship with his sister, because that's so cute. It's so cute. And the way that his relationships develop with Reese and Moira is literally, it cannot be matched. It cannot be topped. Okay? Special place in my heart. Live, laugh, love them. To close this one out, this book has a lot of things to say about trust, about loving people who have hurt you, as I've already said, and letting pride go, and accepting help when you need it. I had zero qualms about this book. I loved every single second of it. Every single second of it. I had an amazing time. Delicious. No notes. Give my compliments to the chef type shit. That's just how it is. I dreaded finishing it, honestly. But I get to read the next book when it comes out, which is actually my one qualm. The third book isn't out, and it's upsetting. Heartbreaking, actually. I need that right now. Anyways, we're going to move on to the next book, which is An Education in Malice, which I have spoken about this book before. So we're going to talk about it in a nutshell. This book follows Laura, Carmilla, and Professor De La Fontaine. Okay, we're going to call her Professor D. Laura is our freshie who is coming into the school that Professor and Carmilla currently reside in. Ooh, let me just back up, tell you the premise of the book real quick. So, Carmilla and Laura attend an all-girls college called St. Perpetua's, supposedly the forgotten sister of the colleges, which I feel like is supposed to mean something, but it didn't mean anything to me, so maybe it just like flew over my head, I don't know, but whatever. Carmilla has a very, very, very inappropriate obsession with her professor, her poetry professor, De La Fontaine. And it grows and accrues in inappropriateness as the years goes on. She's now a senior, and Laura comes in as a freshman. And Laura receives just a little bit of praise and attention from Professor D. And as all stable adults do, Carmilla begins to be really freaking mean to her, okay? But Carmilla takes this all in stride, because despite that, she still thinks Carmilla is just so pretty and she wants to be in with her. And so they end up having this kind of rivals situation, and it's really cute. It gets cute, but at first it's weird. But I appreciate it. I can appreciate a little uncomfortable tension. But Carmilla is a bratty's teacher's pet almost at least until halfway into the book, which is just something you gotta deal with. Also, Professor D is a vampire. It's important to mention that's where a lot of the tension comes from. the book's premise is mostly them being in close relations to Professor D and all of the things that come with being in contact with a dangerous predator who also has a heart, you know, for ugh, I'm not gonna spoil anything for you, but I feel like I'm towing the line because I want to keep the mystery and the magic alive and the questions alive, because I had a lot of questions. I didn't know a lot of the things that was gonna happen, and that not knowing aided in the twist, and so I think it's purposeful, so I'm gonna save it. But what I will say is that Professor D is the reason for a lot of the problems that happen. Okay, character breakdown. Carmilla is, as I mentioned before, I can't say it enough, she is a brat, okay? She never stops being a brat, but you come to love it about her. It gets charming in a way. She is a fashionista, and she has mommy and daddy issues, which you could interpret that as a spoil, but I feel like it can really be inferred because people with two loving parents just don't act this way. I can't see it. And that may also be a lie. I just never met somebody with two loving parents who act that way. Anyways, that's honestly all there is to say about Carmilla other than what you already know. Laura is our freshie, the innocent girl from Dakota, one of the Dakotas, I think. And like her whole personality is that she's actually no, her whole personality can't be fit in a nutshell. She's mostly reserved and mostly sold as, I want to be seen as a cool girl, but I'm kind of shy and I'm kind of scared, you know, like as most sheltered girls are. She's very much sold as the sheltered girl who has come to college and has decided now is the time to be her lesbianic self. And period. I love that for her. She is like the whole trope of the tall, awkward lesbian. And I was here for it. You know, I like a trope. Professor D, there's so much to say about her actually, but I can't say everything that there is to say about her right here. But what you need to know is that she is a poetry teacher. She loves poetry. She loves to write it. She's a predator, low key. Not in the dog. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about it. Honestly, she could be. She could be. And it's a mystery. And I never got a really, really clear answer. And that's actually not true. But I just can't tell you the answer that I got because I want you to experience the magic for yourself. I gave this book a 4 out of 5, but I'm really contemplating it being a 3.5, honestly. So 3.5 to 4. We're not sure. I didn't hate the book, but I also didn't live it. But it was fun. And Laura and Carmilla's relationship is cute. It's very cute. And Professor D provides some amazing drama and amazing questions and conflicting feelings for Carmilla. Okay? And Professor D has character development, which I appreciate. We all appreciate it, okay? And yeah, it's great sunshine and rainbows from there. And I think that's the end of my wrap up. That's all I have to say about these books. If you like the lesbians, you should read this one. It was fun, you know. It was the vampire romance that I wanted. Take my word for it. You know, do your research. You know what you like. But that is all I have to say for today. If you want my deep dive, check out my debrief. It will be posted. I don't know when. I can't make you a promise. But it will be posted. You'll see it. This was cute. I love that you were here. And I hope you had fun. And I hope to see you next time. Kisses.